Hello everyone, this is Farha Noor. Today we learn about components of a cell. So till now we know the biology is the study of life and the cells are known to be the basic fundamental unit of life. So in order to study the functioning of life, we need to study the functioning of cells. In a previous video of cells, we have said that any living organism is ultimately made up of cells. A living organism may consist of a single cell or huge number of cells. In multicellular organisms, cells are specialized and depend on other cells to maintain life. The specialization and interdependence of cells contribute to a characteristic hierarchy of life, with each level defined by its structure and functions. So the functions that we perform will be similar to the functions that cell performs, like say nutrition, transportation, respiration, excretion, reproduction, metabolism, etc. All these functions are performed both in an organism as well as in a cells. But in a cells, it all happens only at a cellular level. Now living organisms may be of two types. And animals, which also include humans, and it can also be a plant. So since these two living organisms are different, they will be made up of two different type of cells, that is an animal cells and the plant cells. So let's look at what these cells actually composed of. But before that, I want you to know that both these cells differ from each other with respect to their structure, and also they differ with respect to their contents. So let's start studying the components one by one in detail. So let's start with the first one, that is the cell membrane. Now did you see outer covering which is holding all the contents together in both type of cells, in plant cells and in an animal cells? Yes, this lining of coverings that helps to compartmentalize the cells is called its cell membrane. So just like the room is contained by walls and the components of cell are contained by a cell membrane, which is also called as a plasma membrane. Now to define in a clear way its outer thick covering of the cells which separate one cells from the other, and it also separates the cells from its outer environment. This covering of cells is not completely closed, it has small pores, or we can say gates, which allow the entry or exit of substances. Now simultaneously this membrane also restricts some substances which are not needed by the cells, and scientifically we call such a membrane a semi-permeable membrane. So in a simple way we can imagine to be a school gate only to allow teachers and students of that school to enter the gate. And also there is something called as a permeable membrane. So in contrast to semi-permeable membrane, this permeable membrane will allow the entry and exits of all type of substances in and out of the cells, but the cell membrane is always semi-permeable membrane. Now coming to the second component, that is the cell wall. Initially I told you all that animal cells and the plant cells different from each other. Now one of the differences is that the plant cells have the additional outer covering apart from the cell membrane. This is called as a cell wall. The cell wall surrounds the plasma membrane of plant cells and provide tensile strength and protection against mechanical and osmotic stress. Cell wall offers rigidity to the plant cells to sustain conditions like increase in temperature and strong winds. So this cell wall that you see here is composed of a protein named cellulose. Cellulose is the most abundant macromolecule on earth. Cellulose fibers are long, linear chains of glucose residues that are covalently linked to one another to form a ribbon-like structure which is stabilized by hydrogen bonds with the chain. So coming to the third one, that is cytoplasm. Now inside the cell membrane there is jelly-like fluid which is present in both type of cells, in plant cells and animal cells. It includes everything inside of the cell membrane except for the nucleus. Now the function of the cytoplasm fluid is that it acts as a medium for transportation of substances in and out of the cells. Cytoplasm not only helps for transportation but it also helps to hold various organs of a cell. Now the functions of the cytoplasm. It aids in movement of genetic material and products of cellular respiration within the cell. It helps to fill out the cell and keep organelles in their place. It gives the cell its shape. It aids to dissolve waste products. So all we know that the human body is made up of various types of organs. Similarly, a cell has different organs to perform different functions. But we won't call them organs, we call them cell organelles. These organelles are found to be free-floating structure in the cytoplasm, and the cytosol is the watery portion of the cytoplasm that all organelles float in. So as we spoke about two different types of living organisms, plant and animals, we all know that both these living organisms have different role to perform in the environment. Hence their functions are also different. So accordingly, plants and animal cells have different type of cell organelles which help them perform these functions, and we'll be learning about the cell organelles in details in our upcoming sessions. So till then, here is just a small exercise for you all. It's like a revision of the components of a cell. I want you to label the components of a cells that we just learned. Can you do this? Keep thinking about it. So let's get started. So till the next session, try following your curiosity. So that's all about components of our cells. I hope you understand about it. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and please subscribe our channel to get more videos like that. Thank you. Bye bye.